G'day traders, 1 minute mindset reset, recovery day after St. Paddy's Day celebrations. Today we're talking about mastering your setups. So yesterday obviously we had a massive move on gold, which was a 3-session parabolic setup. And obviously I've received quite a few questions, comments, etc. about this. But one of the things that is paramount is understanding that I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. But as I always say, we need to identify how price behaves in the timing window when it gets to those levels, and then assess, okay, if you have a thesis that we could have a breakout trade, do we have news on the calendar? So we had news at 10 a.m. yesterday, and that right there is a recipe for a 2-hour move that can blow through the high before anything even happens. So the previous few days we've seen news at 8:30 New York time, and we've seen the first hour put a high and low in place in a 100 pip box, and the New York Open false break in reverse for 50 pip moves. When we have news at 10 a.m. and it's a Friday, and University of Michigan sentiment report can move, not move, I have no idea. But as I always say, I don't get in front of the news regardless, which means if I'm in the market, I take the majority of the trade out, let the news play out, and if there's a setup to re-enter that move, or if it capitulates to complete a move or blow off, whatever that may be, then I'll reassess it after the news. First bounce, that sort of situation. So I'm getting all these questions from traders about, how do you know it's not a reversal and all. Here's the thing. You need to go study your charts in your playbook. It's a 3-day setup. And if it wasn't going to be a trend trade, it wouldn't have given us the entry when the timing window kicked in. So we had traders counter trending that move, and I made it very crystal clear, do not counter trend this breakout. So go back, and I challenge any trader out there to send me the universal entry criteria on the 5-minute chart that gave you an entry counter trend to that breakout move anywhere for the rest of the US session. So if you've got one, send it to me and show me where there was a valid entry to counter trend that breakout trade, because there's traders who counter trended that and ended up getting hurt badly. There was no entry whatsoever, zero, no, not even an inkling. So one of the other questions is how did you know it was a trend trade? I don't know that it's a trend trade. It's a setup though. Now here's the thing. Go back and mark off your levels. One trader said, oh, we're, since when are we, assessing larger time frame setups now? Listen loud and clear and go back to the playbook, and I'll make this very specific. We work from the high of the day, the low of the day, the high of the week, the low of the week, the high of the month, the low of the month. So if there's a breakout of a level, where is your next level? Where is your next level? If you're not prepared, or you don't have a thesis, or you're just looking at that little block, another question, well, how do you know when it gets to the low or the high? It's not an M or a W. That is rubbish, all of that. So here's the thing. What is your thesis on the trade you're about to take? What is the setup that you're about to take? What out of your playbook, what is the setup that you're about to take? We're talking about setups today. So just sitting there and I'm going to buy the low and sell the high comes back to the question I keep saying. Where is the repeatable, rinse and repeat opportunities that you can put size on, or scale up repeatedly, whether they're session scalps or 5-star opportunities? So all these things that I'm telling you are because of experience through my own bad behavior, my own impulsiveness, my own erratic impatience, all of those things. So you can argue with me until you're blue in the face, but the same thing's going to keep happening to you over and over again until you master your setups, understand the timings, the levels, and when the pattern for entry completes, how you will manage your risk and where you're going to take profits off, how time decay works, how time rotation works, all of those things. So, it's frustrating for me to get, a lot of traders asking me questions, and I have to ask, have you even, what are you actually looking at when you go to the screen? What are you looking for? What are you looking at? How do you filter out your instruments? How do you identify which pairs are actually going to be an opportunity in the session that you're trading? So if you want to be a professional, then get everything in your house in order and be a professional. If you're a hobbyist or you're just doing it for, thrills and giggles, then keep doing what you're doing. But if you want to become a professional at this, then you need to master your craft. I have to be honest, and that's the truth, because you're dealing with money. So if you're losing money, stop trading. I repeat this over and over again. Stop trading. Get everything in order. Master your setups. Know what the 3-day setups are. Know what 3-session setups are. Know what 3 levels of rise or fall is. Know what the timing window is for currencies, for indexes, commodities, gold. Know them intimately so that when you go to the screen, you can identify when it's a garbage day, or filter out and identify a high probability pair. Maybe it's a day 3 high of the week in London for a vertical move down, as we saw this week. 3-day setups, opening range, high and low for the week was set on Monday on several pairs. Day 1, day 2, day 3 breakouts, S&P. Little things that will allow you to filter through things and know whether or not it's an opportunity that you're comfortable trading, if it's a high probability 90-10 setup, or if it's a 50-50 garbage type of day, it's inside and you don't even want to look at that pair, and we know there's major red news later, they're going to whipsaw both sides, whatever that may be. But you need to master your craft and master your setups. So hopefully that helps, and congratulations to the traders that did bump up their accounts significantly this week. We had several huge opportunities, and again, this volatility is not going to stop. Work from the outside. Those levels are key, not the inside. The levels of those days are what puts things in play. When we have breakouts triggered, whether they're false breaks, failed breakouts, or breakouts in general that continue to move. So study the opening range, the initial balance, and understand the day count and the high and low of the week. Have a great day, traders. Master your craft. The opportunities are going to be there again next week, the week after, the week after. If you're not consistent right now, step back and observe. Change something. 1% better today, tomorrow, and the day after, continuously. Keep it going and keep it growing, and may the markets go with you. Have a great weekend.